A pleasant morning to everyone gathered here. We heartily invite you all for the fourth session of 6-day virtual international faculty development program on emerging trends and challenges in teaching English language and literature. Now I invite Ms. Vinodini V, Assistant Professor of English, to introduce our today's speaker.
Happy morning to each one of you present here today. It's a moment of extreme pleasure to welcome the today's session resource person, a sincere and thorough practitioner of English language teaching and an ardent lover of literature, Mr. D. Ronald Hadrian, Assistant Professor of English at Karpagam Academy of Higher Education, Coimbatore. He started his career as a coordinator of RACE, Royal Academy of Communicative English, Bangalore, for 3 years. His scholastic skills enabled him to be a founder of DRH Academy. An avid researcher and prolific writer, Mr. D. Ronald Hadrian, with untiring efforts, has published 4 novels, 1 short story, and 1 poem. He has published numerous papers and articles in national and international journals and conferences. To help teaching faculty and students to shape their personality, he has delivered a number of lectures and training sessions on various topics in many colleges and schools. He is a TED advisor and member of Board of Studies in Konga Arts and Science College, Erode. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitations and joining with us for this FDP. I request a resource person to enrich us with his session on use of social media in language and teaching. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Just a second, I'll share my screen. Hi, is my PPT visible right now?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. It's just a great opportunity for me to be here and to talk on this topic. And I'm really happy that to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. So most probably it's going to be a interactive session as much as possible. So as usual, I used to start with a very important question about life. Are you all happy? How are you doing? Is your life good? I think I can see your chats. Yes. Okay. So that's awesome. Uh, because there's a quote that has captured me a lot. That is the great quote of John Lennon, because his teacher asked him, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And he replied, because everybody replies, "I want to be a doctor," or something. But he replied, "I want to be happy." At the end of the day, whatever we're going to do, we need to cherish life and we need to know how to enjoy life, right? So, with that thought, I'll get into my topic. And so, my topic is use of social media in language learning. Of course, you know, uh, we are using social media for so many things that it has become a part of our life. There is no denying it. Everybody is part of it, right? So even right now, you might be using your mobile phones, you might be sitting with your laptops, computers, whatever it is. It has become a part and parcel of our life that we don't even realize how it had affected us. And when COVID came along, things went haywire, right? So it started, everybody went to the online platforms and they started doing studies and teaching. But it was not so easy. But we as teachers have this ability to, just go on, learn the skills that are required, and we tend to do a wonderful job with that. So this is going to be more of a practical thing rather than a theory. And what we have tried some case studies, and it should probably be very useful because it's just not a theory part of it, but how to really do it in the real sense. So first question I just want to ask you is, how many hours do you spend on social media? Can I see your answers? How many hours do you people, respected people, spend in social media? Can I get some replies? Okay, so just half hour, some say 5 hours, 2 hours, okay, 6 hours, that's probably correct. That's fine. And let's just guess, if we as teachers tend to use social media for so long, how long do you think our students tend to use social media? How much time do our students spend time on social media? Any guesses? Yeah, 4 to 5 hours. Yeah. Okay. Let's take data. That's true, actually. On an average, we all spend around four, but I have quoted here Forbes saying that on average, internet users spend 2 hours and 29 minutes on social networks worldwide. So that's a lot, and especially Gen Z spends about 4.5 hours a day. That's a lot. That's a lot of hours we spend on social media. So it's just mind-boggling that we spend so much of time, and we also should understand a certain thing. Those days, yes, we were all going to movies on theaters, right? That's how the trend was. If a movie came out, we will go as a family. Will go for the movie. But as technology improved, we got the television, and now we can sit on our home and watch those television shows. And slowly we moved to our DVD sets. And now, right now, wherever we are traveling, whatever we are doing, we can use our mobile phones to stream. See, this has evolved so much. But what about education? How much it has evolved? Not much, but perhaps COVID has taught us a wonderful lesson. Like, uh, you know, uh, this is this can change. So that is the premise that we are talking about. So, as an introduction part, social media, we cannot deny it. We are not going to run away from it. It's going to be a part of it. So, our best bet is, how can we use it as language teachers or literature teachers? How to make a best use of it. Of course, it has its downsides, same like anything else. I will discuss on that as well. And now, influence of social media, let's look at the positives first, because I just want to focus on positive, because negatives, there are so many that we need to address it separately, but positives we can. The first and foremost would be connecting with our peers, right? So we have a long lost friend, school friends. The best way that we could find right now to connect with them is through social media. There are no other options right now. So social media has become the next important thing is learning opportunities. In fact, most of the things
Sorry,
that
sir.
I
Sir, your voice
yes
is
ma'am.
not audible.
Hello, is it audible now? Is it audible now?
Sir, yes, sir, it is
Hello.
audible, sir.
Okay, can I continue? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So most of the time we connect with our peers, and the next one is learning opportunities. Social media has the greatest thing is it gives us learning opportunities. We can learn a lot, but most of us are not aware on the ways that we need to learn. Okay, so there are learning opportunities are missing, and actually we don't know how to use it. That might be a problem. So influence of social media is real, and it's going to impact us. Next, influence of social media in the negative sense, right? There are too many, and of course we all know how it zaps our energy. There are so many things that I will discuss in the later part, But right now, I just want to focus on the positive sides. So everybody agrees that social media has a great impact, but how do you put it into language? How do you use it in a language sense? How do you train students using that? So I'll cover some strategies, but mostly they are basics. Of course, there are very advanced way of doing such things, but it'll need a level of programming knowledge as well. But I'm not going to get into it, but we'll focus on what's easy to do right now. So we all know what are the types of social media, if because if we don't understand what it's doing and how it's done, it would be difficult as a teacher to implement it in the proper manner. So that is very, very important. So connecting with family and peers, we are all aware. Facebook main mantra or the design psychology behind it was connecting with family and peers. That's how they marketed it first, right? When Facebook came along, they were marketing it with like connecting with family and friends. That was the number one way they did it. And of course, all the other social media are supposed to do that, but there is specifications. Image and video sharing is one of the greatest things that have ever happened, and that was YouTube, right? And YouTube has changed generation of content creators. It has done a great thing. And of course, if you talk to our students, which app do you think they will prefer the most? I Mostly it's going to be the Instagram, right? Instagram is the number one place where people will be spending most of their time, right, as young people. And then of course the community blogs. This is a topic where nobody talks about it much, but it's one of the most important topics, uh, right? And nobody even explores this, the community blogs. How do they work? What is that they do? Of course, as an individual blog, but what about community blogs? That's Reddit. Reddit is a very, very powerful place, and we'll be talking about that and how we can use language in that. So these are some types of social media. First one is it connects with the family and peers, then image and video sharing ones, and then of course we have the community blogs. Now comes the most important part: content deployment for language development. How do you deploy it? How to put those content? First, whenever you are creating a lesson or something that's interesting to the kid, we should know the intended audience, right? So this we found it in the hard way. Uh, the thing is, college students tend to like social media, but some social media things go viral and some don't. Why is this? Nobody knows, right? So if you do a proper research on it, we'll all come with the, we'll be getting a clear idea. That is, the content creator knows exactly to whom he's making. If I'm making long form videos for young teenagers, that is not going to work, right? That will surely not work. But if you're making short videos, that is the trend right now. So I will tell you basics of social media marketing so that as a teacher, what is the best way to use it? Now, if you have taken any famous YouTube channels, uh, or probably we all have our favorite Instagram pages or favorite YouTube channels. So, can you just post some of your favorite YouTube channels in the chat so we can use that as a case study, and then I will explain how social media marketing works. What are your favorite YouTube channels? Could be anything. Wonderful. Another ma'am says, big think. Let's learn. Then VT Garden. That's wonderful. Okay, TED Talk. That should definitely be there. So, all these things are great, but how do they make money, and what is the reason behind content being so, you know? famous, and how does that work? Social media marketing basically works on trust. People are forgetting that yes, content is king, but trust is the most important thing. But how do you build trust? I will not give my somebody, a stranger, thousands of rupees, right? But if I had known him for a long time, if I know who is
Sorry,
he,
sir. Your voice is breaking.
how he thinks, he understood us,
Sir, your
or
voice is breaking.
as to come into uh yeah, ma'am, one second, ma'am, one second. That was the can you stop? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible
You
now?
are audible, sir. Sir.
So we were talking about basics of social media, and so I'll just explain this works. That is, in case you're just having a friend, right, you have to trust him. Only then, if he's going to ask you money something, then you can give it to him. That's the same idea content marketing is, right? So the content marketing is this. That is, still my voice not clear.
So, yes, sir. Still, it is not clear, sir. The audio is cracking, sir.
Okay. Is it clear now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Your voice is clear, sir.
Okay.
Sir. So, your voice is not audible, sir. Dear participants, there is a technical issues. Kindly wait for a few minutes.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Is it audible now?
Yes, sir, it is audible, sir.
Okay. Can you screen my screen?
Yes, sir, the screen is visible, sir.
Okay. So I was talking about my apologies. I think we're not getting towers. Right now we'll not have any problem. So basics of social media marketing is that we need to have trust. And only by trust people have been building these great empires. So as teachers too, we need to post proper content. Otherwise people are not gonna follow it. And it should be for the audience. What works? Let's talk about what works in this thing. First and foremost, interest reels have been the great thing right now. Everybody watches them. So short, simple videos. But remember, when you're creating shorts, you should mostly number it like 3 tips or 2 tips or 5 interesting grammar topics. Such things should be followed. So that would work. That works. That's how people are getting lakhs and lakhs of views. And when we are talking about language, numbering things would be better, or differences. If we say the difference between, a and an, and 2 examples are given, these videos tend to work at an extraordinary level. And also something interesting happens with the does not like long form videos. We have that we are these YouTube and Insta reels do play a major and next one is atomic essays. Okay, so this idea is the audio breaking again?
Sir, yes, sir, your audio is breaking again, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Is it okay now?
So the voice is low, sir.
Is my voice okay now? I think it'll be
Okay,
clear
sir.
now, right?
Yes, sir, it cleared, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So we are talking about atomic essays, and this became very popular. Uh, Atomic essays are 250 words, and this 250 words essays, no, they talk about one idea alone. So atomic essays are 250 words, and what happened was 30 days and 30 days to ship. So this concept became a great success. So for 30 days, they had an idea and they was talking about that idea for a long time.
Sir, again, your voice is not audible, sir. Sir?
Hello, is it
Sir,
clear now?
so it is not clear,
Hello?
sir. Shall we
Hello?
share your screen, sir?
I think it's clear now, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
The audio, is it clear now?
So still it is breaking, sir. Sometimes it is low. If you want to share your screen, sir, kindly mail your PPT, sir. We'll share the screen, sir.
Okay. But I think now would be okay because I'm getting full tower here. Hello, hello. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir.
Now I think my voice is clear, right?
Sir, no, sir, it's breaking. Should you please stop sharing?
What?
Sir,
Can
your voice is
you
still
hear
breaking, sir. Will you
me?
please, sir, your voice is still
It's
breaking. Will you please share your PPT? We can present it,
breaking
sir.
again.
Yes, sir, it's breaking again. So will you please stop the screen and then you can talk.
Yeah, yeah. I'll mail it to you. 1 second.
Dear participants, kindly wait for a few minutes.
I have sent the mail. English
Okay, sir, we will check, sir.
letter V.
Sir, kindly proceed with your audio, sir. Sir, we didn't get any PPT, sir. Dear participants, kindly wait for few minutes.
Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
so thank you.
short content works very well, right? So shorts like YouTube, Insta Reels, Pinterest, because our brains are connected in such a way that we love to do very short content. I mean, we are used to having this dopamine rush in our brains, and that's why YouTube. When you go to YouTube Shorts, you see one video, you keep on scrolling and getting lot of videos, right? But still, we don't stop we keep on going with more and more. So when we are creating content, short should be simple to learn English. The way to pronounce words, simple to the point. Things work extraordinarily well. So that is what uh, we have to do. And the next one is atomic essays. Atomic essays are around 250 words essays which talk about one single topic. That's called atomic essays. And then this gamification. Gamification has become a great thing. In those times, PPTs used to have animations and stuff. But right now, there's a software called Genilia which creates this gamified versions of PPTs. For example, you have like a question and there are four answers. Students can go and click on the answer and it'll tell this is a correct answer, this is a wrong answer, something like that. So it has an animation part to it. It's called the gamification by Genelia, and this works wonderfully well. And of course, in Insta, recently, Genelia is a software that you can use. It helps you to create such animation graphic stuff. And similarly, we can see carousels that is in Insta pages. They create the short 4 to 5 pictures, right? So these pictures give us a great thing, right? So instead of blogs used to have 3 4 points on how to achieve things, the same way carousel, each pic will have each idea. So that is what is going now, and this is what works right now. And my slide is not showing.
So now it's visible, sir.
Yes, yes. So that's what shorts, YouTube, Insta Reels, and Pinterest Shorts work the best. And next one is Atomic Essays, that is Twitter. What is 250 words? They used to take a screenshot of it, or you can use to design it and post it. This became a great hit in Twitter, where people tend to read short essays. And then gamification, I already mentioned, is Genilia, and Carousel is Insta. So that is carousels are small tidbits of information posted as slides. So that is what they are all about. And next one is, okay, what doesn't work? Long, boring contents. It used to work because YouTube algorithms used to be in such a way where YouTube algorithms like uh, long 13, 14 minutes of video used to work perfectly well for simple reason. The simple reason being they wanted to include 3 4 ads so they can, you know, get more money. But this has been changing over time. The last 2 3 years, long boring content has not been great. Even blog contents which are long 2000 3000 word long articles are not doing very well, but video essays are doing very well. Now what do you mean by video essays? Video essays are like history of Republic Day, history of English literature, graphics, music, dramatic intros. They work wonderfully well. So that is what essays are about. Video essays, especially if you go to YouTube and check out John Harris, he's been doing a wonderful job. It's just like a documentary level kind of thing. For example, if you want to talk about Shakespeare, it's just not going to be our own face shown on the screen. There are images, there are dramatic things, there are scenes from some dramas, and words, graphics. They're all put into place in a video essay, and they work perfectly well for students as well. And if plagiarizing content, that doesn't work, because somebody would have just posted it like the pronunciation of words, and trying to take the same way and doing it doesn't work. But if we can, for example, uh, be more creative, take that idea, build it into something else, then that is awesome, right? So that is what doesn't work. Okay, so we have seen that. Now, as a creator, as someone who wants to teach language online or social media, of course, we need to focus on all the 4 skills, because any language, we have the 4 skills. First one, LSRW. We need to focus on the listening part, the speaking part, the reading, and the writing part. So, the listening part, the best way would be, of course, if you are very clever, if you can create, uh, you know, a content for a video, the same audio can be used for a podcast. Of course, there's Apple Podcast, Amazon, and you have all kinds of podcasts, Google Podcasts. They are free, and you can upload it to some kind of podcast engines. From there you can share the link to those links so everybody can listen, and students, while they are traveling, or they're just not in a mood to read, they can listen to the lectures. That's one of the best ways podcast can be used. And the next one is speaking. Recently softwares have become so advanced, and if you know about chat gpt and all, uh, that is an awesome thing that's AI is doing. you know you might have heard about DALI, DALLE, right? So this software is so advanced that I have tried it out recently. If you just type Indian girl on it, it can render a girl. I mean, that picture is not from internet. It is trying to learn what an Indian girl looks like from like thousands and thousands of photos online, and it comes up with its own version of it, and which is very, very unique. Of course, it's very, very powerful as well. The same way, this chat GPT is also bringing out sentences. If you give to chat GPT a sentence like, tell me 5 ways to be motivated, it brings out 5 ways of being motivated. It goes through like thousands and thousands of MBs of data over the internet, and it brings out 5 tips. And if you check out plagiarism for that, you cannot find it. That's how powerful it has become. So listening, we can put podcasts. For speaking, the AI recording has become so powerful that the British Council or the Cambridge exams are doing it right now. Even Hindu's STEP program is doing that. That is, it reads, it understands your language, and it corrects your language and tells what level you are you in the B1 level or the B2 level? It has become so advanced. These things we can use, right? And reading, of course, you can create atomic essays, carousels, or blogs, so they could use the social media to read. Even in Insta, if you want to teach your students some steps or some words, we can put it as a carousel and they can look at those and get a pretty good idea. And then, of course, writing. This is interesting. In in our in our college, we did this experiment. We did this experiment, that is, we asked these people to post short atomic essays online, and how many ever gets the highest likes, they win the prize. And this worked out pretty well. So we can do an awesome thing with that as well. And of course, what are the processes? The three process, the way of doing as a language teacher. I mean, it doesn't mean only language teachers. Anybody who is creating content probably should follow all these rules. I mean, the processes. So the first process would be curating. Curating is you go through an Insta post, you go through a YouTube video, you saw an awesome blog post, but how do you save it? We tend to forget things, right? We can go through all these things, but we will forget it. So the number one way that we could be very effective is to curate, to save these things up, so that after some days we can go and look at it. So that's the main thing that we have to do. So for curating, there are awesome softwares. I've been experimenting on them for like 2 3 years now, and I can assure you there are thousands and thousands of note taking apps, but I think these are the best ones that I have found. Of course, you can have your own versions of it. Even notebook, pen, or your simple notepad would do, but for time, the way to tag things, I think these are the best ways to go about it. So the first one is curating, and I use Mem. Mem is an awesome software. It has AI in it. How this works is that in case I'm going through my mobile phone and I like an Insta post, it's about language or pronunciation or something like that, or I'm going through a YouTube video, or I'm going through a blog post, the number one thing I would do is this. Like, I'm gonna, I know I'm gonna forget it, but later on I might use it for something else. So the best way to do this would be to save that link immediately without much hassle or problems, right? So the first thing that I would do is I would copy that link or copy that image, and we can post it to Mem. Now, how does Mem work? Mem, you just sign up for Mem, and it'll ask you on what social medias you want to have a link, right? So you can have a link with your WhatsApp, Telegram, email, anything. So if WhatsApp is linked to your Mem, you can send a message to Mem through your WhatsApp. Immediately, it saves in its own logs. So maybe after 10 days too, you can see what you have saved. And what's so interesting is you can tag them. So in all these softwares, you can tag them, right? For example, it's about vocabulary. I can just put hash vocab and save it. So on Jan 1st, I'm saving one vocabulary. On Jan 10th, I'm saving an vocabulary, but I'm using the same hashtag. I'm using hash vocab, hash vocab. So if I go to Mem after a month and search for hash vocab, whatever vocabulary I have saved, those things will show up. So it saves a lot of time, and to make content, it's very easy. So Mem is a great thing. And Logseek, uh, Logseek has been an awesome software for you know creating research content and stuff. So Logseek works the same way, but it's an awesome software where you can do PDF highlighting and stuff. So these are the places. First, you can save things and keep. Notion is an awesome. Actually, these are huge softwares. It takes its own lesson, but I'm just introducing them to you. You can go and explore further. So curating, you can use Mem, you can use Logseek, Notion, Antenna is just not released for everybody. It's only invite only, but I have checked out, and it's an awesome software. But my idea is stick with one, learn it well, use it well, because softwares are going to keep on changing, and what fits for you, use it. So that's the best thing we can do. That's curating part. The next one would be designing part. Of course, a little bit of design ideas, if you have, that's fine. So the designing super softwares are Canva, Figma, Adobe Suite. Of course, industry standard is Figma and Adobe Suite, but Canva has broken those things. You can create awesome content with that, right? You can make amazing templates. Using their templates, you can make amazing vocabulary, or you can create jokes, you can create some carousels for everything. Insta page, Facebook page, Twitter, every kind of social media content things can be created using a Canva app. Of course, everybody might use it, but we have to start somewhere, and that's the best way to start. And Figma is a great place to learn design, and Figma can be useful especially for atomic essays, because Figma is used in the industry side to create prototypes for products, for apps, the way it looks and stuff, right? So Figma is a great place, and Adobe Suite everybody knows is a is the Photoshop, their entire suite, Illustrator, and all that. If you know those things, awesome. Otherwise, too, if you want to do it quickly, then Canva would be the best way to do it. And many people think, and many people think the sharing part might be a difficult thing, right? So I want to share my content. I am a teacher, but I want to post videos, or I want to post my audio, or I want to post my graphics on vocabulary pronunciation or something like that. The best way I have found is Publer. Publer, of course, it's premium as well as free. Free one lets you to schedule for almost 10 days. So for an entire week, you can schedule it for every 7 o'clock. I'm going to post vocabulary. That is, using a Canva, you can create vocabulary or whatever content you want. Go to Publer, sign up, and schedule it, and also link all your social media sites: Insta, Twitter, Telegram, whatever it is. And with a click of a button, it'll schedule it, and you don't need to bother about entire week precisely on the time. Keep on posting, and I've already said keep on posting. Your students might see it, people might probably in future you might create some courses or what. That's the idea behind it. And we have seen the design paid, but I go with Publer. Publer is like awesome. So I can use these processes to create awesome language content or any other content for the matter. But this is the basic idea. I curate everything, then I design and I share. So this is the idea. Okay. So now comes the most troubling part. Yes, we are creating all this content, but is this useful? So that is when we know that what we are doing is not a waste of time. So usually we can gamify things. That is, we have done this in our college. We post vocabulary, weekly two vocabulary on our official pages. And in the CIA exams, we do ask words from that, so that it is a motivation for them to go through the words on Insta page, as well as they know that they will be evaluated. So this is very, very important. Otherwise, the loop is not complete. You're creating all this content, but how do we know what they're learning? So it's important that you check their comprehension. How do they understand? Because social media has this tendency to be bleak and shallow. That is, we will look at things and we'll forget it. But the best way to do is repost it again and again, get them to know that in a deeper manner so that they can answer questions. That is the key, because you might create so much of things, but what about students? Do they understand? Do they even comprehend what you're doing? So testing is important. Otherwise, there's no point in doing this at all. So we should be very, very clear on that as well. And of course, as I already mentioned, the last part would be the recalling part of it. The recalling part, we know recall is slow. From my own experience and research papers that I've gone through, social media postings of language or anything for the matter, the recall is low. This is one reason I feel that online companies which teach online would eventually fail, because it's so difficult for our brains to understand things. A classroom is totally different, but online education is totally different. And when we, after COVID, when students came back and testing was done, their recall was so low. But I think the best way to go about this would be the hybrid method. We can keep fun things for the internet as well as for the core things to the classroom. So when we comprehend them both, when we ask them questions on the both, it should be great beneficial. Then of course the iceberg effect is not possible here. On the surface it looks great, but what about the foundation? What about the real understanding of the topic? That is quite not possible with social media. Social media, that's impossible to do that. It gives you an effect that people know stuff, but no, as like an iceberg, under the water there's a huge thing, that is the reservoir of knowledge that comes mostly through classroom learning and people's experience about it, friends talking about the topic, discussions. There are so many things involved with that. We simply cannot tell, like, okay, I gone through this course, but what else? What are the other things that we need to understand? So the iceberg effect is there, and too much of information and too little time. If you just go to Insta and search for English lessons, it would give you millions of channels with so much of content that a human being literally cannot keep up with this information. So this is the negative effect of doing it. But if you really want to be successful, I think a blend of both these things, both social media as well as classroom, or your assignments could be on online. If you do that, we can do an awesome job. But the idea is curate, then you create, then you share, then test. So this is the process that we need to adapt for an overall success rate. So social media is great, but the way we use it, that's what matters. And we need to know what's the downside of it, what's the upside of it. And language teachers should also be willing to do like a personal development thing. We need to learn more design skills, uh, writing skills, all these things, because that would enhance the way we teach language. So I hope this was useful, and I'm really sorry and my apologies for the audio breaks and stuff. But please, you can go to YouTube and learn more about it. But this is the basic idea. If you want to know more, I have my own YouTube channel, Insta page, where I talk about all these stuff, the books I read, the ideas I gather, softwares I'm learning right now. So all those things you can follow by YouTube channel as well. So in case you people, wonderful friends, have any questions, that would be awesome.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you are asked to post in chat box. I repeat, participants, if you have any queries, you can post in chat box.
Thank you, everyone. If you have any queries, I would be happy to.
Sir, there is a question.
Yes.
Is there any links or apps to make our classroom more lively?
Of course, you can use Genelia. That's an awesome place. And of if ELT is concerned, you know, if you are going to create, then you need to know a little bit of programming or animation. But Genelia is basically the standard right now, and I don't think we have more options than gamifying whatever we are doing it, right? So that's the thing. Okay, I have a question here. Would you say a Facebook page is useful? Right now, I don't think so, because Facebook is becoming more of a graveyard place. The bustling young generation is moving. This is the problem with social media, because companies lose their touch and slowly new things come out and people tend to move away from that. And so we need to know what's trending right now and move along with that. It's a it's a software. Generally, it's a software which is you can just go to www.genelia.com. It's not an app. It's a software. It's a web page, basically web page application where you can create your own gamified versions of PPTs and stuff.
Sir, there is another
Uh,
question.
yes.
Is social media stigma is very time consuming, sir? How we can justify this?
Yes, of course, it's time consuming, but I feel like it can be automated. Only in the beginning part it would be difficult because we might not be very good with design and stuff. But once it's automated, and once you know how students or uh, whatever people are using it are responding, then you can hire people, freelance it. You have softwares to do all the things. Either we spend time or money. That's the way it goes. If you have time, then you can create everything on your own. You don't have time, then obvious money, and people will do everything for you. So that's the thing. And I have an interesting question here. They have asked about AI. Will it help with pronunciation? Of course, it's in the starting stages, but I really think AI will come into the play, and companies are building softwares which use language algorithms to analyze student capacities. So they will come into play, but just in the starting stages. We don't know how far it's going to go. Is Canva better than Corel Draw? No, Corel Draw and Photoshop, they have their own place. It's for core designers, right? It's industry standard one. Canva has one advantage. It already has the templates for you. So all you have to do is edit, and if you're creative enough, you can do your own stuff there. And Canva is more user friendly than Corel Draw and Photoshop have like the timeline to study it is huge. The art to learn it is huge. So that might be a problem. So how to use Insta Reels for learning English?
அவரே பார்த்துக்கிறாரு.
Of course, the most important thing would be just don't watch it, save it, and come back, take notes, and use it somewhere. That's the way to do anything, right? What is trending in social media at present? You can go to Twitter trends and find out for yourself. Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions? I might have missed some questions. My apologies. Of course, machine learning and deep learning is going to come into play, but we might not get into details of that, but it will play a great role on language development. Yeah, generally, yes. Yes.
Sir, shall we wait for few more questions, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it's not a problem. If you have any questions. Yes, of course. Flipped classrooms are becoming a trend. Thank you. That's a wonderful take on it. Yes, as ma'am is pointing out, building a community is great. We can learn a lot in LinkedIn groups or Reddit groups. That's awesome. That's a wonderful place to learn. But as a teacher, as kids, when we're dealing with kids, they might not be willing to spend so much of time. They want it quick and easy. That might be the uh, problem there.
So there is another question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The examples you mentioned about the Indian girl, it creates its own.
Yeah, it creates its own. Uh, Probably I can show you right now, but I don't know how my internet is there. Can I share the screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can share your screen, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. One second. I think is my screen visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Okay. Fine. So this is Logseek. I'm using Logseek for quite some time. So this is where I do my research studies and stuff. It's an awesome software. It might not be popular, but once you get to know about this, it's awesome. Now I have already installed ChatGPT and DALI here, and for example, it takes some time, but it comes out with its own ideas, right? So, for example, I'm just going to say an old bus. Okay, I'm just going to say an old bus, and I'm going to start DALI engine. So I've already installed, so it's here. And if I give DALI, of course, it's going to take some time, but you can see it will come out with, it might not be perfect, but still it has this ability to create a photo. Okay. So it's already generated and you can see uh, it has come. Let's take a look. See, it's bringing it from internet. Might not be perfect, but I have mentioned old and bus. So whatever shapes and things are there, it's going to bring it just like that. An artist needs to wait so long to build anything, but right now artificial intelligence has become so powerful that it's bringing such things. And I also said about ChatGPT. uh, so I'm going to give a question: how to improve English speaking as an example, and I'm going to run GPT for okay, the block, and let's see what answers it comes out with. See, immediately it's bringing. It says there is no one size fits all answer to this question, as the best way to improve English speaking skills will vary depending on your level of proficiency and learning goals. However, some general tips to improve English speaking skills include. So it just goes through the internet, comes out with its own answer. That's how powerful this one is. Watching English movies, reading aloud, writing in English. So within seconds, you get answers. So that's how, I mean, advanced AI is become. Yes, I am using OpenAI, but I have connected to my Logseek, so it just takes the AI information from there. So DAL-E, ChatGPT, and all that is going to get in. What's interesting is if you just check for plagiarism, the plagiarism doesn't show. Right now, OpenAI is the best, right? So, but it's in the development stage. We're not pretty sure. There are bugs. So after some days, it's going to be better. But if anybody can come out with the plagiarism check using AI, I think they can make a lot of money. That might be a awesome business idea because next stage would be that. Okay.
So there is another question. Please suggest some best plagiarism checker.
The industry standard would be Turnitin, and nothing beats it. But we all know only the universities have access to it. But you can use their sister products, and you can check it. Plagiarism Checker X, I think it's around $40. That's a lifetime thing, but it's not as perfect as Turnitin or Archon. So that would be, but you can still check, right? Yes.
Shall we wind up the session, sir?
Yes, ma'am. No issues.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now I request Ms. D. Geeta, Assistant Professor of English, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful session about the various tools available in social media for teaching language. You also enlightened us. You also enlightened us through various tools and processes for creating content in social media. And it's very useful for us. And thank you for the informative session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.